Love is not about possession. It's about appreciation. Unknown. There's something crucial I need you to understand. Right now, whether you know it or not, a woman in your life may be sending you signals so subtle, yet so powerful, that you're walking right past them without even realizing the depth of what she's offering. Take a moment to pause and really listen. If you've ever found yourself wondering whether a woman truly wants to open up to you emotionally, mentally, and on a deeper level, this is where the truth finally comes to light. Stick with me till the end. There's something vital you need to hear before making any move. Before we go any further, make sure to hit the subscribe and like buttons so you never miss out on the psychological insights most men never get to access. Get ready to step into her inner world, the world she keeps hidden from almost every man. A world where her body language shifts involuntarily, where her voice softens in ways she can't control, where she's naturally drawn to you, even though she might try to mask it with confidence, humor, or keeping her distance. Understand this: women don't always confess their attraction openly. Instead, they reveal it through subtle cracks in their emotional walls, tiny, unspoken gestures they hope the right man will recognize. And perhaps, just perhaps, you're the one she's waiting for. But here's the thing: no one ever showed you how to read these signs, how to understand what she's silently offering. A woman doesn't give herself easily. When she does, it's because something within you awakens something within her, whether it's safety, desire, respect, curiosity, or an unexplainable connection she can't quite understand herself. And no, this isn't just about physical signals. It's about the deeper energy she sends toward the man she trusts with the softer, more vulnerable parts of herself. What you're about to learn will be like the light suddenly flicking on in a room you've been walking through in the dark for far too long. So, take a breath. Forget the confusion. Forget the overthinking. Forget wondering if she's into you or just sees you as another man who'll let her down. I'm here to guide you through the subtle currents of female psychology, the hidden signals she's offering, the signs she's quietly giving because she wants you to move closer, not further away. Stay with me. This is where the clarity begins. 1. Her eyes linger a second too long, not out of lust, but out of emotional curiosity. The eyes don't lie. Emotional curiosity over lust. We've all heard the phrase, the eyes are the windows to the soul, and when it comes to understanding someone's feelings, that couldn't be more accurate. When a woman's gaze lingers on you just a little longer than usual, it's not a random occurrence. This moment isn't about physical attraction or lust. It's about something deeper, emotional curiosity. Her eyes are telling you that she's intrigued by who you are and what you stand for. Don't mistake this for a fleeting glance or a casual stare. No, this is different. A lingering gaze suggests that she's emotionally engaged, trying to understand you on a more profound level. It's not the type of look you'd get from a quick encounter. It's the kind of look that comes when a woman is genuinely interested in the person behind the mask. It's the kind of curiosity that goes beyond superficial attraction and dives into the core of what makes you, you. This is where love psychology comes into play. She's trying to figure out if you align with her emotional needs, desires, and relationship goals. 2. She wants you closer, but she'll never tell you that directly. When a woman desires to get closer to you, she won't say it outright. Instead, she lets subtle signs slip through her actions, hoping you'll notice them without her having to lay her heart bare. Understanding these signs requires a deeper insight into female psychology, psychology tips that reveal the quiet, unspoken gestures that show her interest. The truth is, when a woman wants to give herself to you emotionally, mentally, or even spiritually, her guard doesn't simply drop. It softens, it shifts, and it flickers. These small flickers are the clues you need to look for, but most men miss them because they expect grand declarations or dramatic gestures. The reality is, attraction at a woman's core level doesn't scream, it whispers. It's not about obvious moves or scripted actions. It reveals itself through instinct, through reactions she may not even fully comprehend. Without a solid understanding of these subtle cues, you risk overlooking the most intimate signs she's sending you. One of the key signs is how she listens to you, not just with her ears, but with her full attention, as though you're the only person in the room. While she may not do this for everyone, for you, she shows genuine interest in what you have to say. This isn't mere politeness, it's an emotional connection. Another important signal lies in how her eyes linger on you, not with lust, but with a deep, almost vulnerable curiosity. Her gaze will hold a little longer than usual, like she's trying to decipher your soul, not just your words. These are the kind of subtle signals that are easy to overlook, but they are critical if you want to understand how women communicate their attraction. If you're looking for clear, bold signs, you might miss the profound emotional shifts happening right in front of you. Instead, look for these psychological cues, these intimate moments where her emotional guard starts to shift, and recognize that they're the moments where she's silently telling you, I want to give myself to you. This understanding is not just about playing a game, it's about deeply connecting and interpreting the true language of attraction. So, if you're serious about attracting women, use these psychology tips and love advice to read between the lines. Learn the signals she's giving you, and you'll unlock deeper levels of emotional intimacy that go beyond the physical. That is the foundation of strong, meaningful connections in dating. 3. Even her breathing changes around you, slower, deeper, calmer. When a woman is truly invested in you, her entire demeanor shifts, often in subtle ways that most men miss. One of the first signs is how her breathing changes when she's around you, slower, deeper, more deliberate. It's not a conscious effort, it's instinctual, an unconscious response to being in the presence of a man she feels deeply connected to. But that's just the beginning. As she grows more emotionally engaged, she becomes hyper aware of your emotional state. She notices when your mood dips, remembers tiny details you mentioned days or weeks ago, and checks in on you in a way that's disguised as casual conversation. She's not just listening, she's listening because she cares deeply. This level of attention is something only a high value man can command, a man who exudes strength, self assurance, and stability, qualities that make her feel safe and understood. In these moments, she opens herself emotionally, a sign that she's ready to give herself to you. Vulnerability becomes her language. She'll reveal a fear she's never shared with anyone, admit to a mistake she's been carrying, or confess a dream she's kept hidden deep inside. These aren't calculated moves, they're honest, raw moments where she's testing your emotional intelligence. Will you walk in, or will you let the door stay closed? In those quiet, unplanned moments of vulnerability, she's asking if you're the kind of man who will hold space for her. No one can fake this kind of emotional investment, not even a master of female psychology. It's a genuine shift that occurs only when she feels deeply seen. As much as she may try to hide it, her behavior speaks volumes. She becomes more attuned to your presence. She watches your every move, not with anxiety, but with an almost instinctual awareness, a kind of heightened sensitivity that betrays her true feelings. She notices when you enter the room, when your energy changes, or when your attention shifts elsewhere. She may pretend not to care, but her body language, the way she subtly mirrors your actions or seeks proximity to you, reveals the truth. The most powerful signal, however, comes when she sees you giving attention to someone else. It's in that moment you'll feel her silent pull, her jealousy, and her quiet longing. She can't help it. She wants you, and it's in the way she responds, sometimes even when she's trying to hold back. A woman who truly desires to give herself to a man isn't waiting for a grand gesture. She's waiting for you to recognize these subtle signs, these intimate moments of connection that are often hidden beneath the surface. As a man who follows the wisdom of the old Stoic principles, you'll understand that it's not about flashy gestures or loud declarations. It's about mastering your own emotional state, staying grounded, and showing up for her in ways that let her know you're a man who can handle the depth of her vulnerability. A high value man, rooted in Stoicism, doesn't just command attention, he attracts it by showing respect, understanding, and emotional strength. Recognize these signals, and you'll not only understand her better, but also master the art of deep, authentic connection. 4. Remembering the smallest things about you. When a woman begins to remember the smallest details about you, it's not just a coincidence. It's a sign that she's emotionally prioritizing you. These are the things you've barely mentioned: a favorite snack you've long since forgotten, a childhood story you shared in passing, a stressful deadline you mentioned once, or even a goal you spoke about during a late night conversation. It's not just random trivia. These details are pieces of you that she cherishes because you've become significant in her life. She's storing them in her heart, reflecting her growing emotional investment in you. Look closely at how she supports you in subtle ways. When you feel insecure, she's the one to encourage you, reminding you of your strengths and potential. She doesn't make it about herself. She stands by you, validating your thoughts and feelings with genuine care. In conversations, she listens attentively, offering her perspective while respecting yours. This quiet but steady support becomes her role, a foundation she offers without expectation. This is her emotional backing, and it's not something she offers to just anyone. It's reserved for someone she truly cares about, someone she feels a deeper connection with, and someone she wants to invest in emotionally. As she grows more comfortable with you, she'll start to open up, sharing her vulnerabilities, the things she usually keeps hidden from others. She might admit when she's feeling overwhelmed or reveal her insecurities, letting you in on parts of herself that she's usually cautious about showing. This vulnerability is an offering, not a mistake. It's a sign of her deepening feelings for you, a way of saying that she's ready for something more, something meaningful. She's not just casually sharing these things, she's trusting you with a deeper part of herself, hoping that you'll step into a greater role in her life. You'll notice a shift in her feelings when they evolve. Her interest in you changes from a quiet curiosity to something more instinctual, more profound. She won't announce it or label it, but you'll feel it in the way she connects with you on an emotional level. She adjusts to your rhythm in conversations, mirrors your emotional state, and even aligns with your thought process. This isn't imitation, it's a natural resonance. It's her way of fostering harmony with you, a reflection of her desire to be closer to you without forcing it. She becomes more patient with you than she is with others. She listens to you without distractions, giving you her full attention, and you'll feel that she's making an intentional choice to prioritize you. Even if she hasn't said it out loud, you'll sense her presence, her emotional availability. At the same time, she'll begin to protect the connection between you. It's not about avoiding conflict for the sake of it, it's about making sure the bond stays intact, even if she doesn't always vocalize it. These subtle changes in behavior are powerful signals that a woman is emotionally investing in you. It's not about surface level attraction, but about building something real and meaningful. When you start to notice these signs, you'll see how deeply she values you. Recognizing these psychological shifts can change how you connect, allowing you to understand and nurture the bond you're building together. By paying attention to these signs, you'll witness the depth of her desire to give herself to you, emotionally and wholeheartedly. 5. She'll find excuses to be within your space. A woman who is emotionally invested in you will gradually begin to weave herself into your world in ways that may not always be overt, but are certainly significant. She'll find subtle ways to be near you, not out of necessity, but because she feels a strong connection that draws her to your presence. Whether it's choosing to sit close to you when other seats are available, or standing beside you when it isn't required, it's more than just physical proximity. It's a manifestation of her trust and comfort around you. Women instinctively gravitate toward men who provide them with a sense of safety, and this emotional closeness is often reflected in her body language and behavior. When she's truly at ease with you, it's noticeable in the way she laughs, more freely, more openly, and with a sense of genuine joy that signals her emotional surrender. She becomes unguarded in her laughter, releasing any reservations she may have had. This shift is a profound sign that she feels safe, comfortable, and, most importantly, emotionally connected to you. The depth of her emotional investment becomes even more evident as she starts to test the waters of your emotional availability, but not in a manipulative way. Instead, she begins to ask deeper, more insightful questions about your life, your values, and your future aspirations. This isn't about doubt or suspicion. It's her way of gauging the level of security and alignment she could have with you. By seeking to understand your mindset, she's actually envisioning the kind of future she might share with you. Perhaps the most telling sign, one that often goes unnoticed, is when she starts to allow you to influence her. This is not about control, but rather about mutual respect and trust. A woman only permits a man to influence her when she admires him, respects his judgment, and sees him as a figure of stability and strength in her life. Whether she follows your advice or takes note of something you've casually mentioned, it's a clear sign that she values your perspective. The more she allows your influence in her decisions, the more emotionally integrated you become in her life. As her feelings grow, she will also begin to share the smaller, everyday moments of her life with you, things that might seem trivial to others, but are significant to her when shared with you. She'll keep you updated on her day, sharing both the mundane and the meaningful because she wants you to feel included in her world. These small glimpses into her life are her way of showing that she's emotionally weaving you into her daily routine, even if she's not fully aware of the depth of what she's doing. You'll also notice that she becomes highly attuned to your emotional state. When something is off with you, whether you're quieter than usual or dealing with stress, she will notice before you even speak a word. Her sensitivity to your emotions speaks volumes about the depth of her connection to you. She's not just aware of your physical presence, but she's emotionally in tune with you in a way that few others are. This heightened sensitivity is often linked to a woman's need for a man who is emotionally intelligent and stoic, a man who remains calm in the face of challenges, but also empathetically attuned to her needs. These behaviors are not random. They are deep rooted signals of a woman's emotional bond with a man who embodies strength, reliability, and emotional depth. When you begin to notice these signs, you're witnessing the natural process of a woman building trust and connection. She's not simply offering you her attention, but she's offering you a place in her world, a space where she feels safe and understood. For a man who values emotional intelligence and embodies Stoic principles, recognizing these signs and responding with respect and care is key. By staying grounded and maintaining your own emotional strength, you'll earn her trust, admiration, and, eventually, her heart. This is how you truly connect with a woman on a deeper level, through emotional intelligence, mutual respect, and the art of understanding. 6. She becomes more selective about who she discusses you with. When a woman starts showing subtle yet powerful signs of emotional investment, it's not merely about physical attraction, it's a profound emotional connection and trust being established. One of the most telling signs is when she becomes more selective about who she talks to about you. It's not because she's trying to hide you, but because she's fiercely protective of the bond you're forming. She understands that not everyone should have access to the sacred energy that's being cultivated between the two of you. This selectivity isn't about secrecy, it's about ensuring that outside noise doesn't disrupt what's being built. She keeps certain moments between the two of you because she sees something deep within you, and she wants to protect it. When a woman starts showing this level of discretion, it means she believes in the potential of your relationship and feels that it's worth guarding. This is the kind of emotional investment that a high value man recognizes and understands. The next sign, the one that reveals her deeper feelings, is how she begins allowing you to influence her emotional landscape. She might not say it directly, but she starts to value your perspective in a way that's rare. Your thoughts and opinions begin to matter to her, and she seeks your advice because it resonates with her on a deeper level. She asks you what you think, not because she's unsure of herself, but because she trusts your judgment. She sees you as someone who brings wisdom, stability, and strength to her life, and she's open to your influence. This kind of trust is not given easily, and it's certainly not something a woman offers casually. Women, by nature, tend to guard their emotions carefully. The fact that she's allowing you to influence her decisions, her perspective, and her emotional state is a sign that she's offering you a piece of her most intimate self. This is where the wisdom of the old Stoic philosophy comes into play. Just as the Stoics emphasize the importance of control over one's emotions, a woman who allows you to guide her emotional world is someone who sees in you a steady, reliable force. She's not seeking to be controlled, but rather, she's seeking growth. She recognizes your value and how your presence in her life can enhance her journey. As she becomes more emotionally open, she also becomes more open to growth. She starts to recognize that you're someone who strengthens her, not someone who drains her energy. A high value man doesn't just provide emotional support, he helps her rise, he encourages her to be better, and he leads by example. When a woman starts to depend on you in this way, it's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of her deep trust in you. She's allowing you into her inner world, and that's an invitation that should never be taken lightly. This kind of emotional transparency and openness is rare, and it's something a man must cherish. It's easy to take such gestures for granted, but a wise man, especially one who understands female psychology, knows that this level of trust is not something to be ignored. It's an opportunity to connect with her on a deeper level and show her that she made the right choice in trusting you. The most profound sign of all comes when a woman begins to imagine a future with you in it. At this point, it's no longer just about attraction or fleeting moments of connection. She feels a steady, unshakable certainty about you. It's a quiet but powerful force that pulls her towards you, a deep trust in your character, a high value for your presence, and the belief that you see her for who she truly is. This is where the true power of a high value man lies. He doesn't just attract women, he creates a sense of stability and security in their lives. She starts to picture a future where you are a permanent fixture, your energy filling her daily spaces, your voice heard in her kitchen, your steadiness providing a solid foundation when life gets challenging. This isn't about imagining you as a temporary guest in her life. It's about envisioning a life together, where you're a constant presence in her world. At this stage, she's already imagining how life would feel with you in it, not as a visitor, but as a permanent, integral part of her life. And when a woman begins to imagine that level of connection with you, it means she's ready to give herself to you fully. It's not just about physical intimacy, it's about an emotional and mental bond that goes beyond surface level attraction. This is the deep, unshakable connection that most men miss out on because they don't recognize the signs or they fail to nurture the trust that comes with it. The hidden signs of a woman preparing to give herself to you are not random. They're a reflection of the trust she's building, the value she places on your presence, and the belief that you are someone worthy of sharing her deepest emotional world with. These are the signals that a high value man will recognize and honor. The key to understanding these signs lies in mastering the principles of Stoicism, focusing on what you can control, building inner strength, and offering your emotional steadiness to others. A woman will only offer her trust and openness to a man who is emotionally strong, grounded, and capable of leading her towards growth. As you embody these qualities, you create a space where she feels safe, valued, and cherished. She's not just offering her body, she's offering her heart, her trust, and her future. The most powerful relationship is one built on these principles: trust, respect, and a shared journey of growth. So, when a woman shows you these signs, understand that she's not only giving you a glimpse into her world, she's inviting you to be a constant, unwavering part of it. The quiet choice. When it comes to understanding the subtle and sometimes quiet ways a woman shows her desire to connect with you, the truth often lies in the smallest gestures, and the most important of these is when she quietly starts matching your effort without you having to ask. This is not about her playing games. It's a sign that she's making a choice, one that's not shouted from the rooftops, but felt deeply within. You'll notice she begins to initiate, not because she's compelled to, but because she genuinely wants to engage with you. She steps forward without you needing to prompt her, offering support for your growth and investing in the relationship as if it holds significance. This is her way of saying, I care, and it's not something she does lightly. She starts to protect the bond between you two, creating a shield around the connection you share, because in her heart, it matters. But here's the catch: when you see these signs, don't rush. Don't pressure. Don't try to force anything, thinking that it's a sign for you to pounce. No, you must respond with maturity, presence, and emotional steadiness. Show that you understand the gravity of the situation. This is not a time to play games or act with impatience. A woman who is quietly choosing you is looking for something deeper than just surface level attraction. She's not searching for a perfect man who never makes mistakes or who always says the right thing. That's not the goal here. She's looking for a man who is responsible, who respects her and himself, and who is self aware enough to understand the importance of emotional connection. This is one of the most valuable love advice and dating tips you can receive. Be steady, be present, and show that you have the maturity to meet her where she's at. At this stage, what she's offering is a choice, not a transaction. She is testing to see if you're someone who can truly support her emotionally and spiritually, and if you're capable of handling the vulnerability she's willing to show. And the key here is that it's not about being perfect, it's about being real, grounded, and emotionally available. This, my friend, is a powerful signal in psychology tips that will help you understand what she's truly looking for in a man. It's a steady, measured approach that doesn't rush into conclusions, but takes the time to build something real. When you see these quiet signs, don't make the mistake of overthinking it or second guessing your own worth. Instead, step into this with the confidence that she's not looking for you to be flawless. She's looking for your ability to be reliable, emotionally in tune, and responsible in how you handle not just the connection, but yourself. That is the foundation she's hoping to build on. So, when a woman starts matching your effort and taking the lead in her own subtle way, recognize it for what it is: a quiet yet profound choice to deepen the bond. You must respond by giving her what she's asking for: your presence, your steadiness, and your emotional intelligence. This is how you attract women and build something lasting. Here's the truth: before you can truly understand and connect with someone else, you first need to understand yourself. You have to know who you are, what you need, and most importantly, what you don't need. This kind of self awareness is the key to experiencing love in its purest, most free form. It's about being able to love without expectations, without trying to control or mold the other person into your image of what they should be. When you truly understand yourself, your desires, and your boundaries, you enter relationships from a place of strength, not need. This is where true emotional freedom lies. When you are at peace with yourself, the small signs and signals of affection become secondary. Whether she shows interest or not doesn't matter, because you no longer tie your worth to her reactions. You're free. You're not desperate for validation, nor are you looking for her to complete you. You are already complete. Loving in this way is liberating. It's unconditional because it doesn't depend on receiving anything in return. You love not because you expect something from her, but because it feels natural to share your heart and your life with someone else. Now, when you approach relationships with this mindset, you remove the pressure. You stop second guessing every little gesture, wondering whether it's a sign or not. You don't need to analyze every move she makes because you know that love isn't something to be forced, tracked, or predicted. It simply is. This approach creates a calm, steady energy that is incredibly attractive. It's a love based on mutual respect, freedom, and understanding. So, the most important love advice and dating tips I can offer is this: before you can truly give yourself to another person, you must first give yourself to you. Know what you need and let go of what you don't. When you've done that, you can love freely, without conditions or expectations. That's when the signals, or lack of them, stop being important. Because when you love like this, the real connection is not based on signs or timing. It's about being present and embracing the person for who they truly are, no strings attached. This is the type of love that lasts, and it's the type of love that will naturally attract women who are ready to do the same. When a woman starts letting her mind wander toward you, it's a sign she feels emotionally safe with you. And remember, safety isn't about control. It's about respect, consistency, and emotional presence. She doesn't just open up to anyone. She does it because she feels connected to you. If she starts sharing her fears about love, it's not to push you away, but to see if you can handle her heart. Watch how you respond. Are you truly listening? Are you patient? When a woman is ready to give herself to you, she needs to know her heart won't be mishandled. This is where many men miss the mark. She'll start matching your effort without being asked, initiating, supporting your growth, protecting the connection. She's quietly choosing you. She's not looking for perfection. She wants a responsible, self aware man who can handle her emotions. When you see these signs, don't rush or doubt. Respond with maturity and emotional steadiness. Women are looking for love advice that makes them feel safe, and they're showing you exactly what they need. If you felt something shift inside you while reading this, it's because you're starting to understand what women rarely say out loud. So take a deep breath, stand taller, and step into the man you're meant to be. Subscribe and like this video to keep learning psychology tips, dating tips, and how to attract women with clarity, confidence, and strength. Women trust deeply when they know you're worthy.